Hello and how goes everybody? My name is CYI3R, but you can call me Cyber, and today we are continuing our Pokemon Champions journey. This time around I've brought in a Mega Glimora team here to show off with a Sinistcha support, Tauros, as sort of a physical backup, and as well as the physical special defensive Weirdeer, a physically defensive Aggron, mainly using its defense stats, a Mega Scrafty backup, just in case I felt I needed something. Glimora wasn't gonna work and I could bring Scrafty for something. I don't really use it in most of these battles, but I thought it would be interesting to have. Now let's go into the first battle. As you can see, they have a pretty well-rounded team. A lot of meta threats with the Garchomp. I'm expecting the Parasong Gengar from this battle, and obviously King Gambit's on like almost every team. Now this time I decided I'm going to lead with the Glimora, lead with the Sinistcha, and maybe this battle I was like one of my first battles with this team. So I was trying to utilize the base form's ability as much as possible. For the rest of the battles after this one I kind of don't do that. I just decide I'm going to just use the Mega as like a special sweeper. Now they start off with a Garchomp Pikachu. Now in my head I'm thinking, okay, Garchomp's probably going to go Rock Slide or Earthquake. I'll die, but I'll set up the spikes. I'll set up the Toxic Spike. I might die, I can set up Toxic Spikes though. Now, I Earth Power the Pikachu, and it just gets completely one-shotted. It doesn't get a chance to do anything. Now, what I wasn't expecting was a special Garchomp Earth Power one-shotting my Glimora and preventing spikes entirely. That was well played by the opponent, I will say that. Special Garchomp is something that's like, it works, but it's not really something to see often. Now, my Machagacha misses, which is unfortunate. It would have been good damage. The burn would have been alright to have if I got it. Now, I decided to bring in Tauros, and they bring in the Gengar. Now, they have no one's Mega'd yet this battle, and I don't know if they were just respecting me or not, but it's hard to say, honestly. I mean, my Mega's gone. They have 3 potential in the bag. 2 on the field right now, 1 more potential in the bag. Now, I swap out into the Weirdeer, mainly because I'm thinking if they're bringing, like, I expected the Ghost type move on Sinistcha, but Zen had put over here putting Gengar super low, which makes me think it's a support set, a bulky support set, which is something it sounds like something I would run. Now, Stomping Tantrum does not a lot to Weirdeer after the Intimidate. It also reveals that it's a mixed Garchomp. Probably takes Earth Power just for stuff like Glimora. Now, I decide to... And that's when I decided, okay, well, best bet for damage I can do is Earthquake. It'll take out the Gengar. It'll do a good chunk of the Garchomp. I decided to protect Weirdeer first. Shadow Punch Gengar. So it's like a... I think all of their Mons were mixed this battle, which is interesting. Now, Earthquake finishes off the Gengar, that's not a surprise. Does less than a quarter to Garchomp though, which means it might have some bulk investment. And surprisingly, they go for a Scary Face, which I wasn't expecting at all. I mean, I've seen that move a total of like 4 or 5 times since I started playing Champions. So it's not total surprise, but it wasn't I really expecting. Now they bring in the Azumarill here. And I'm getting flashbacks because I have been swept by a Belly Drum Azumarill in the past. I don't know if I made that one if that's in a video, past or present. I probably edited it out because I wasn't happy with the battle. But either way, I bring back in Sinistcha to heal not really to heal the Weirdeer, but it was a nice bonus. Earth Power from Garchomp does nothing to Sinistcha, which is pretty nice. And I get the Trailblaze off on Weirdeer, which does decent damage. It does a little under half there to the Azumarill, and it helps with the speed control. Because Weirdeer is pretty slow. Now they go for fake tears to lower its special defense, which is concerning because I know that Garchomp's got the special moves. I'm assuming the Azumarill might as well. Now, as for what I do here, Sideshow Bash does a good chunk of damage. It gets the defense boost. Dragon Claw comes out, and with the Intimidate and the +1 in defense, it does nothing. Machagacha comes out and drops the Azumarill, puts Garchomp on in the red. It was actually a crit on the Azumarill, funnily enough. And at this point, there's not really much they can do. Nothing they'll do would like hit hard enough. And because of Trailblaze, I'm outspeeding the Garchomp, funnily enough. So at this point, it's just whatever for Sinistcha. It's not getting an attack off this turn, and unless they have Protect, Garchomp's going down. He decides to Shield Bash. And yeah, that's the end of the first battle. Honestly, it was very surprising. Very interesting battle for my opponent. I do appreciate the variety. Mixed Garchomp, mixed Gengar, mixed bulky Gengar. It was interesting. Okay, now moving into battle number 3. Once again, they have another Garchomp, of course, and they have potentially 3 Megas again, with the Absol, the Frostless, and the Garchomp. Whether they actually go for one this time, I can't recall. But it seemed I was looking forward to this battle. This was one of the battles where I decided Glimora is just going to be a speedy sweeper with the Mega, which is really good. It actually does a lot of damage. Unless it's something specifically special bulky, it's not living a lot of hits very easily. Now, obviously, Arcanine Intimidate doesn't really do anything here. I decide I'm gonna Mega Power Gem here. Glimora should outspeed everything if I'm correct, because it is quite fast as a Mega. The only thing I've ever seen it get outsped is when the enemy has tail up, or if it's like something like Aerodactyl sometimes will outspeed. Now that being said, Power Gem just completely one-shots the dog here, just takes it out back. I was curious though to see what it was, especially considering Assurance Absol, which is a move I forgot about. It did do a decent amount of damage, but Machagacha comes out and does way more, and then heals most of the damage back up, which means I'm definitely living another one. Now here they bring in the Whimsicott, and I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna set up like Tailwind, they're gonna do something. So let me just Sludge Bomb it, get it, pop its Sash or whatever, and just be done with it. Now, it's not Prankster, or they went for an attacking move. I can't say in all honesty, but that Whimsicott gets completely blown up. Another Assurance from Absol puts Sinistcha in. It takes to about a third, but Machagacha heals it back up to over half here, and finishes off the Absol. So now it's a 4v1. They haven't even done much damage outside of Sinistcha. Now they bring in the final Mon, Frostlass, and honestly, I was expecting Mega and then Aurora Veil to come up. So, and I also went for the Grassy Terrain I contemplated the Grassy Terrain just in case for anything to live. But I honestly decided against it, figured it better just finish it off here. Power Gem just one-shots the Frostless. Sends her back to her Ice Cave. Very interesting battle. Once again, it's like, I don't know what they're doing with the Assurance, although I didn't get to see most of their team because of Mega Glimora just popping off there. Now, into battle number 3. This battle was easily one of, if not the longest battle I've ever done in Champions. And you're gonna see why in just a sec. There was a lot of swapping, a lot of like trying to predict stuff back and forth, as you will see. I'm trying not to spoil too much, but you'll get what I mean as you watch. So they start with Hisuian, Typhlosion, and Aerodactyl. And I start with obviously Glim Sinistcha, but obviously Sinistcha's not sticking around for long. That thing is not going to live in Eruption that I know is coming. So obviously I go for the Mega, and I bring in Weirdeer as a special wall since Intimidate will hurt the Aerodactyl if it has any attacking moves. I can't imagine it's special. And it can tank the Eruption a lot better than Sinistcha could. Now, pop the Mega, and to my surprise here, despite all the speed I was talking about, Typhlosion just outspeeds. I genuinely didn't even think that would be the case. It does a little under half to Weirdeer, but does even less to Glimora because of the resists, and Power Gem just one-shots it, which is very nice. And of course, Aerodactyl doing Aerodactyl things just sets up the Tailwind here. So now it's, well, now I have the advantage, 4v3. Weird gets a little bit leftover healing. I like leftovers on Weird. Easy, one of my new favorite mons. Although when they bring out Toxicity, I will be making a full team around it, I will tell you that now. So they bring in Feraligatr, and once again, no Mega, they haven't popped a Mega yet. I don't know what they're looking into. But either way, I'm expecting like a water move. So I decided to bring back in Sinister, get the healing on Glimora while the spiky shield goes up. Now, to my surprise, they Mega the Aerodactyl actually, which is very surprising. I actually only seen Mega Aerodactyl like once before, one of my times long. But spiky shield comes out. I'm pretty sure they're both going to be physical attackers. Iron Tail from Aerodactyl comes in, and it obviously gets blocked and does a bit of damage back, which is nice. Bite from Feraligatr comes in, aimed at the Weird, but Sinister takes it pretty well, actually. Now, here I contemplate swapping again for the Intimidate, and I actually do decide to, but this time I'm swapping out the Glimora, because I don't want it to take unnecessary damage this battle. Ironically, this battle doesn't really showcase Mega Glim outside of just the one shot earlier. Ice Wing comes out on Sinister, does a decent amount. I would say it does about a third. Now, Liquidation does a good chunk to Weird there. Machigotcha comes out, does a little under half to Feraligatr, and puts Aerodactyl to about a third health, or the 2/3 health, which is not too bad. Now, it does heal Sinister back up a considerable amount. And it shows it's also, I think it's supposed to be a bulky Feraligatr, because it does have its own leftovers. Oh, and I got the burn on Aerodactyl, which is very nice. I completely slipped my mind for a second there. Now, I'm deciding what to do here. And I decided I'm going to switch Sinister out, because it's not a good matchup. I'm also expecting another Ice Fang to go onto it. Ice Fang or Bite. I wasn't expecting a Liquidation on Sinister. I felt like the easy swap. Now they actually Rock Slide here on the swap, and with the burn and the -2 in attack, it does nothing. This Aerodactyl is effectively out of the fight. Now Aerial Ace on Feraligatr though was interesting. Does a little more damage. Tauros still tanks that like a boss though, because Tauros is. This one's not specifically bulky, but it does have some just natural bulk to it. Also, that Intimidate helped a lot early, because the Feraligatr is at -1, and Aerodactyl is effectively a wet paper bag at this point. Now, I decide... Now, also last turn their Tailwind ran out. I forgot to mention that. So, obviously I'm expecting them to put it back up again. I decided I'm just going to try and take out Aerodactyl before it can. Obviously, that's not happening, because the fast was on the field. And surprisingly, they go for Liquidation, not on Tauros, but on Weird. I guess they expected another swap, but Zen Headbutt comes out, does decent damage. This is about a quarter. Trailblaze comes out, puts Feraligatr on a third of its health, gets that speed, but with the Tailwind, that speed boost doesn't do anything there. Unfortunately, does it a lot of damage, but I probably would have just been better going for a Side Shield Bash and getting my defenses up. The burn's getting Aerodactyl down into the red there, and I decided I'm going to switch back in Sinister. Keep the Weird alive just a little bit longer. Because obviously it'll live whatever comes next, should, with the Hospitality to heal. Rock Slide comes out again, puts Weird back in the red, and Sinister barely took any damage. The crit, though, helped a lot. Liquidation on Sinister, obviously this time they were trying to take out Tauros, but the defense drop I actually completely forgotten about. That was unfortunate. Trailblaze doesn't finish off Feraligatr, and for some reason, I'm just going to say it now, I misplay from here on out to being just way too passive. I could have been a lot more aggressive here, and it would have worked out for me. But you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. So I decide to protect here, and yeah, I'm just like thinking if the +2 speed is gonna outspeed Tail, because I'm thinking +2 speed might outspeed Tailwind, but I'm not 100% certain. I figured I'm gonna try and just wait it out, and then I set up Grass, and then I want to set up Grassy for more healing. And I'm gonna be honest, I had to cut out after this turn. Rock Slide comes out, obviously does nothing with the after all that. Barely does a lot more, but Sinister hangs on. Honestly, I could have just gone Machagacha here and I would have taken both out. I kind of stalled a bit too long for whatever reason. I had to cut that out, by the way. That was like a full minute of just healing. And not even like major healing, just minor healing. As you can see. But yeah, no, I decide, okay. I have the sustain. I should be able to live whatever now. Sinister living on 4 HP is insane, but Prerogator finishing off Weirder with a bite there. Little unfortunate, I almost had like another closer battle here, but I decided to get aggressive at the wrong moment, and I got passive at the wrong moment. I could have easily like gotten to the last two a lot faster. Now, thankfully though, I did time it out perfectly to finish off both their mons when the Tailwind ended here. And I think at this point they just realized, okay, well, they can't outspeed Glimora, and yeah, with the Tailwind gone, anything else that comes in is just getting one-shot, and after a bit of timer stall, they just forfeit and call it there. That was like another solid minute of just waiting for them to make a move, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was very weird. Now, moving on to the fourth and final battle of the day. Once again, like, it's very clear, I'm 100% expecting the Megazard there, like a Mega Charizard Y. Hisuian Arcanine is the first for me since playing, like, I haven't seen it. I had to cut that there as well, it was a very long wait. I don't think this first was stall, I think that was genuinely just connection issues. But it doesn't really happen too much after, so I can't really say for sure. Either way, they start out with Charizard and Serena. Serena's a nice mix, nice breath of fresh air, I will say. I was expecting like more like some physical attackers to start off with. So, and obviously I'm not going to start Sinister when I know a Mega Charizard Y is coming out, so I did bring in Weird Ear first. Now, obviously they go for the Mega Charizard Y. It was very obvious play. It's all you ever see from Charizard nowadays. I haven't seen X once, not even as like a passing mention, but both Megas pop turn 1, so you know we're both mean business. Now they go for Heat Wave here, of course they do, as you do with Mega Charizard. Does well over half the Weirder, does about a third to Glimora, and Power Gem just one-shot Charizard there. Doesn't stand a chance for that quad weakness plus adaptability and stat. Zero chance without a sash. Now, funnily enough, Serena goes for Solar Blade here. And Solar Blade, in the sun, obviously, just like Solar Beam, goes off instantly. And Glimora lives it pretty well, actually. And then I get off the Trailblaze here. I do it just for the damage and for the speed control, because while Serena's not quick, the rest of their mons kind of are. A lot of the ones they had left are kind of are, and I wanted to just help Weirder out a little bit. Now they bring in Ceruledge here. This is the first time I've ever played against Ceruledge. And I know it, and while I haven't played against it, I did know at this point that it gets Shadow Sneak in a lot of priority, so I was banking on that, decided, okay, it breaks Sash if they attack into it, and it does attack into the spiky shield and just take a... If it had a Sash, it's gone. And a high horsepower for a huge chunk of damage. Funnily enough, not even weak armor. But Solar Blade does take out Weird Ear here. Because, well, it's a very strong move, and Weird Ear's on very little health. Which is unfortunate, but that just means I do get to bring in whoever I want for some advantage. I'm contemplating it between Tauros and Sinistra. I can't remember who I decided here, but it seems like I decided on Sinistra. which is weird considering the Ceruledge being there. But I guess I had I guess I wanted to heal more than anything. I think my plan was to switch it out immediately after. Now, here I am deciding what to do next because I'm expecting a Shadow Sneak, but at this point I'm certain with the healing from Sinistcha and just Sinistcha's presence in general, Glimora shouldn't be targeted here. I'm not expecting it. However, I am wrong because they go for the Shadow Sneak again, but the healing does help it to live, even with through Life Orb boost, which is insane. And the Sludge Bomb just finishes off Serena with like it was pretty. Even at full, I don't think it would have lived. Now they waited a bit there, and then they send in the Hisui and Arcanine to show off their last Pokemon. Now I decide I'm going to Spiky Shield again, and I contemplate. I'm thinking. I decide for the Earthquake here because it's going to do a lot of damage to both of them. If it lands on both, it's taking them both out, which is about what I would have expected and would want. Surprisingly, their Ceruledge also goes for Protect. They do that. And then Head Smash from Arcanine does a lot of damage to Tauros, taking him to about a third health, a little over a third. And then Citrus Berry brings it up over half. Funnily enough, even if no matter what, at the end of this turn, next turn Tauros would get healed again. Now Earthquake, with being focused solely on Arcanine, just one-shots it completely. So now it's a 3v1. And all they have is the low health Ceruledge. Now, here I decide to switch out back into Sinistcha, because at this point I'm expecting, okay, if it goes for Shadow Sneak again, it doesn't kill. They actually went for a second Protect and got it off, which is surprising, because Power Jump would have finished it off there. I did contemplate going for a Spiky Shield kill, but I decided against it. Like here, you can see me like thinking about it, but I decided no. Let me just finish him off as quick. Like I can live another Shadow Sneak because of Sinistcha. Power Gem just finishes off here, and yeah, no, they don't even go for it. Power Gem just finishes them off here, and that's the end of battle number 4. Honestly, all these battles today were pretty interesting and fun. I did want to see more from that mixed gang. Sorry, not the mixed Gengar. The one with the battle number 2. With the Arcanine and Absol and all of them. That one I wanted to see more of. Unfortunately, I didn't get to. But I hope you all enjoyed today's battles, and if you did, please like, subscribe, comment, and stay safe. And I hope to see y'all in the next video. Goodbye.